Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are all doing well. So our beautiful, bold manager has signed his new deal at Manchester United, and that will likely to include, Ruud van Nistelrooy joining in the coaching staff. We're going to go through all the fallout from Erik ten Hag signing that deal, what he said, what the club has said, and just the talk going round. There's still a lot of talk that he will get a veto on those players, which was important to him. So we'll get stuck into everything that's floating around surrounding Erik ten Hag and his new deal at Manchester United. Plus, I'll be giving you my thoughts on that, which you already know. I've already called him our beautiful, bold manager in this video. I am well and truly behind Erik ten Hag. Now, look, I know Erik ten Hag's got to fix up this season. He's got to do a lot better than he did last season, at least in the league and in Europe. If he wants to go and win the FA Cup again, that's fine by me. But we definitely need to be doing better in the league for sure, and in Europe. Although we're not in the Champions League, we are in the Europa League this season. He'll have to do well in that as well. And with all these changes at the club that we're seeing, you know, the likes of Dan Ashworth, Wilcox, and all these Baradas and everyone joining the club, the structure being a lot better above the manager, and hopefully the recruitment bearing an impact on that this summer as well, the pressure will be on Erik ten Hag to deliver next season. But one that I am really, really looking forward to. We go away for pre-season tour very, very soon. Something that I cannot wait. I mention it every time we do a video because pre-season is my favourite time of year, man. We can get giddy, we can get excited, we can say 21 is coming without the reality of Manchester United losing games every week. Hopefully next season we won't be losing games every week, but we need to make sure that happens, and the manager needs to make sure that happens too. But he has signed a new deal at the club, extending until 2026. So make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, comment, share, get your thoughts in on the new manager's deal. He had currently a deal up until 2025 with the option for an extra year. So now to just bump that up for an extra 2. Obviously, it's not a huge extension, and we don't want to get into the areas where we did. Remember when we gave extensions to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, to Jose Mourinho, and then within a matter of months they were sacked by the club? We don't want to be in a position like that. But the manager has been backed by the board and given that new contract, and we'll get stuck into the story and the quotes and everything coming out from that. But yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. But I, for one, am absolutely delighted that Erik ten Hag is signed on. And we obviously heard the story that he was going to be sticking around as Manchester United manager a while back. So this kind of feels like a formality, and one that we knew was coming. And the club have confirmed it today. But the story, and we go to David Ornstein's story for this one, because obviously when you read the story from Manchester United, they're just going to give you the quotes, they're just going to give you the facts, and David Ornstein will give you a little bit of insight that some others simply can't. And he says, Man United have extended Erik ten Hag's contract through to June 2026. Ten Hag was already under contract until 2025, but the club have now triggered the existing option of an additional 12 months. The 54-year-old was retained as United manager following the club's end-of-season review, and has now extended his previous agreement, which was due to expire at the end of the coming season, on the existing terms. So the manager will not be paid any more, he will not be paid any less, he's on the same wages, pretty much the same deal that has been made with that extension. He was appointed in 2022, having won 6 trophies, including 3 Eredivisie titles across 4.5 seasons in charge of Ajax. So in 4.5 seasons at Ajax, he won 6 trophies. In 2 seasons at Man United, he's won 2 trophies. So 6.5 seasons, he's won 8.5 trophies. No, 8 trophies. You can't win half trophies unless you're sharing community shields like back in the day. But he's won 8 trophies in that time. He said, I am very pleased to have reached agreement with the club to continue working together. Looking back at the past 2 years, we can reflect with pride on the 2 trophies and many examples of progression from where we were when I joined. However, we must be also clear that there is still lots of hard work ahead to reach the levels expected at Manchester United, which means challenging for English and European titles. In my discussions with the club, we have found complete unity in our vision for reaching these goals, and we are all strongly committed to making that journey together. The club's new sporting director, Dan Ashworth, was the one who made that statement and made the announcement, and he said, with 2 trophies in the past 2 seasons, Erik has reinforced his record as one of the most consistently successful coaches in European football. While the club's review of last season highlighted areas for improvement, it also reached a clear conclusion that Erik was the best partner for us to work with in driving up standards and outcomes. This group of players and staff have already shown they are capable of competing and winning at the top level. Now we need to do it more consistently. Here here. Spot on from Dan Ashworth. But what we have seen, both in that statement from Dan Ashworth and in the statement from Erik ten Hag when he was a pundit on Dutch television, was that the club did speak with other people. Like they say, you know, we with the club's review of last season, we highlighted areas for improvement. Now, one of them could have been with the manager, where they've looked elsewhere, tried to see who was available, and then decided that the right man for the job was already in place. But, you know, both of the parties have kind of confirmed that those talks did happen. I remember Ten Hag kind of alluding to the fact that Tuchel had been spoken to. So we're there with that. Now, it looks like Mitchell van der Gaag could be leaving. He's the assistant coach to Erik ten Hag. Also looks like Benny McCarthy will be leaving as well. He was a strikers coach and a forwards coach and seemed to really get on well with everybody else at the club. And it looks like Ruud van Nistelrooy is on his way in. We've heard that reported by The Athletic and numerous other people. And it looks like he's on his way. And also the other fella as well is on his way. Hag is on his way as well. And what's interesting about those appointments is, I thought they were club appointments initially. I thought it was the club making those appointments. But it's clear from the other story that The Athletic have revealed today from Mark Critchley that the manager was very, very keen to bring those guys in. So it's the manager's decision to bring those people in and the club backing him to do that. Obviously, he has to deliver. When you bring people in and you make all these changes, you have to deliver. But it looks like with Mitchell van der Gaag leaving, and of course Benny McCarthy leaving, Ruud van Nistelrooy on his way in, we could also see many, many changes to the coaching staff and all those kind of things. In a summer of change for Manchester United, you know, we've heard stories recently that we could be hoping to raise 100 to 200 million pound by selling a whole load of players, and the names that were mentioned in that, the obvious ones of Sancho, Greenwood, Anthony, etc. But there was also mentioned Maguire, Lindelof, and a few others in that as well. As I said, this article goes on to say the arrivals of Ruud van Nistelrooy, the former United great and the Netherlands PSV Eindhoven head coach in the 22-23 season, with René Hag, manager of Dutch top flight club Go Ahead Eagles for the past 2 years, remains subject to final agreements and securing work permits. But it is the fact that Hag has been headhunted by Ten Hag before, so that's a clear Ten Hag appointment, as is the appointment of Ruud van Nistelrooy. Ruud van Nistelrooy and Hag being managers within their own right. You know, Ruud van Nistelrooy was really successful at PSV Eindhoven, done really, really well there, and now he's coming in at Manchester United to be a coach. One of the things in the little sceptical side of me goes, maybe this fella thinks if the manager gets sacked, he could be well in there and get the managerial job. But he loves Manchester United. We know Ruud van Nistelrooy loves Manchester United, and he's on his way in to obviously, hopefully, help the club to success. Now, one of the other points of contention in Ten Hag's contract talks were his influence over transfer policy, and particularly the article goes on to say the veto written into his original deal. This remains, as does the recruitment department's veto as well. So Ten Hag can have a veto over some of the signings and some of the people that were expecting Manchester United to kind of take that away from him. That hasn't come to fruition, but there will be a more collaborative effort between all these different departments to make Manchester United great again. I hate that I've used that phrase. It was totally by accident, but here we are anyway. May as well go get the red hats out. But yeah, this is the new coaching staff. Ruud van Nistelrooy, Hag, and of course Erik ten Hag. Steve McLaren still sticking around too. And fingers crossed we can get some success with this. But I'm really looking forward to the new season, man. I really, really am. And I'm hoping we can get some signings in. Talking about pure Dutch changes coming in at Manchester United. It looks like Matthijs de Ligt could be happening as well. And you look at Xerxes potentially coming in. So we could have a Dutch revolution at the club. But so far, so good. Erik ten Hag signs his new deal with pre-season training on the horizon. Lovely. Anyway, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. You're obviously not all as excited about Erik ten Hag as I am. I like Erik ten Hag. I like the manager, and I'm glad that he's in place for this season, and fingers crossed for much, much longer as well. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you're keeping it like, comment, share, subscribe. Until next time, I have been AdamMcKola. I'm out of here.